Hello friends, welcome back to this video session on Java programming fundamentals. In the last video we talked about the exception handling in Java. We spoke about handling unchecked exception and we spoke about handling checked exceptions. In this video I'll explain you how to create the user defined exceptions and then how to use those user defined exceptions into the code. So let us begin with user defined exceptions. So to understand user-defined exceptions, let me create a small demo. First of all, I'm going to create a class into custom exception package. Okay, and I'll create a class called account. I'll not make it more fancy. I'll just keep it simple. So private double balance, and let's suppose I have a balance of 6,000 rupees into the account, and then I'll just have a method public double withdraw, okay, which accepts amount and then withdraws the amount from balance. So this dot balance is equal to this dot balance minus amount, and I'll return the existing balance after withdraw operation. So that's a very simple code I have into my account class, and then I'll create a tester class from which I'm going to invoke this withdraw method. So I'll say main. I'll create an account object account, and then I'll say account also double balance is equal to account dot withdraw 4,000, and then I'll print a message amount withdrawn available balance is plus balance. That's a very simple code I have written. Okay. Now let me run it. So I'll just right click, run a Java application. 4,000 rupees has been withdrawn from 6,000 and the remaining balance is 2,000, and that is absolutely correct. There are a few things that we need to make sure in this is we are not checking the existing balance. What if I have 0 rupees in my account? That we are not checking. So let us check that. So if this dot balance is less than amount, so what do I do here? Should we write a system or println statement, or should we return some value? What should we do? So let us suppose I'll print a message insufficient balance. Okay, else this. Okay, now look what is happening here. So there is a if statement and there is else. We are expecting some value to be returned from this method, which is double type of value. Else has a return statement, not if. We don't have any return statement in if. So what if the balance is lesser than the amount? It will go to this if condition, and then it will execute this statement, and there is no return. That is the reason it is giving the error. So I should return some value. What value should I return? So should I return 0 representing that it is insufficient balance, or should I return minus 100 to represent that it is a insufficient balance error, or whether should I return minus 10? What should we return from here? We cannot return anything because this minus 10 can also be my balance sometime. Minus 100 can be my balance, or 0 can also be my balance. Okay, and that is one thing that I cannot return any value representing it as some error. Okay, uh, and one more thing is, if I'm returning minus 10 from here, from other code I may return minus 100, so which doesn't provide the consistency into my code. Some developer may write minus 100, some developer may write 0, some developer may write minus 10 to represent insufficient balance. Correct? So that is the problem which has introduced custom exceptions. Now what I can do is I can create an exception and then I'll throw that exception from here. We can also throw a normal exception which we have already, like exception or runtime exception. Like here you can see I'm going to create an exception object. So exception is equal to new exception. I can create insufficient balance exception. So I'm going to print that and I'll remove this and I'll say throw exception. So throw keyword is used to explicitly throw an exception. Throw keyword is used to explicitly throw an exception from your methods. And now what it is giving an error. Now why? Because when you are throwing an exception and that is a checked exception. Remember, exception is a checked exception. The classes which are subclasses of runtime exceptions are unchecked exceptions. So there you see it is throwing. So either you write a try and catch block, else you write throws clause. So I cannot write a try catch block here, because if I write try and catch block, again will come up with the same problem that there is no return value. So what I will do, I'll write a throw clause or throws clause. Right, throws clause, add throws clause to my method. And once I'm writing this throws clause here, this tester class is complaining again. Now this method, withdraw method, throws an exception. We must handle this exception. And because we are into the main method, I will write a try catch block. I will not just declare it as throws exception. So let me write this into the surround with try and catch block, and this should be initialized. I'll initialize to 0, or I'll just print it there and there only. Here only I'll print. I do not want that balance anywhere outside that try catch block. Okay, so that we can do. So like we can use the existing exception class and we'll throw that exception by creating the object of it. Okay, so and now if I have I'm going to say 8,000 and there is an insufficient balance exception. Correct. Now this is fine, but what will happen with this is a more general exception. So think about a complex application where you have many situation to describe. So one is insufficient balance, one is invalid account, invalid customer, so invalid email, invalid account number. So these are the situations for which you want to again throw exceptions, and you are going to use a common exception to just throw all those. So the problem is you will not understand that exception is for that particular problem, isn't it? So like in the tester class, if I get exception, I will not get to know that this exception has been generated by invalid email or invalid account or invalid mobile number. I will not get to know. That's the reason it is always a better idea to create a separate exception class and then create an object of that class and then throw it from your classes. Okay, so creating custom exception is very simple. So what you need to do is simply create a class. Like I'm going to create insufficient balance exception, and then I'll just subclass from existing exceptions. If I subclass from exception, this class will be your checked exception, or this exception will be a checked exception. And if I do it from runtime exception, that will be the unchecked exception. And now I'm not going to do anything here. I'm simply going to write a constructor, okay, which takes a parameter string message, and this parameter I'm going to pass it to my exception class using the super call to the super class constructor message. That's it. So that is my exception class. Very simple. Okay, and then what we'll do is from account class, I'll go here and then I'll create the object of insufficient balance exception is equal to new insufficient balance exception. I'll throw that exception and here also I'll catch it in that insufficient balance exception. And this error is because we have not changed it in this throws clause. Sufficient. Okay, now let me run it. So now it is more specific exception. So now this is insufficient balance exception. I may have invalid account exception. I may have invalid mobile number exception, invalid email exception. Those kind of exceptions we can create in a more complex applications. So that is all we have in this video. I hope you have enjoyed this video sessions. Thank you for watching. Bye bye.